independence from external rule, and ever since, this day marked yearly all over the world. On the Midday International News Desk, or here on ECWA Television Africa, I, Lois Shiraki, will get you informed on how Independence Day is celebrated from outside Nigeria. The history of migrants living in Nigeria can be traced to 1100 BC. The Kingdom of Ri, the Benin Empire, the Songhai Empire, and the Oyo Empire are all diverse ancient African civilizations that are said to have settled in the region now known as Nigeria. Lagos, the former capital of Nigeria, was conquered by British forces in 1851 and then in 1901 became a British protectorate. Colonization persisted for over 100 years, exploiting from the region's natural resources until after the World War II, when an agitation for independence arose. On October 1st, 1960, Nigeria gained its independence. Afterwards, an all-Nigerian Executive Council was formed and headed by Prime Minister Alhaji Sir Tafawa Balewa, until 3 years later, when Nigeria became a republic led by Nnamdi Azikiwe as its first president. The Yoruba, the Igbo, and the Hausa are Nigeria's three main tribes today. In addition to other smaller tribes, the country has over 520 languages, although it retains English as its official language. How Nigerians celebrate Independence Day. Today, October 1st, 2021, Nigeria celebrates 61 years of her independence from the British colony. As usual, President Muhammadu Buhari has kickstarted the Independence Day celebration with the presidential broadcast addressing the citizens. Independence Day Parade. The President of Nigeria broadcast his live speech to declare the inauguration of the Independence Day celebrations in the morning of October 1st. This is followed by the raising of the flag while the national anthem is being sung. A parade by the armed forces follows. There is a flag-raising ceremony to honor the nation. Festivals and parades are held across the country, including the display of tanks, missiles, and advanced armories. The armed forces parades with cultural dances are followed after the presidential speech, and finally, the national cake is cut to commemorate the celebrations at the presidential villa, popularly known as Aso Rock. During the celebrations, people are out in the streets waving and wearing the colors of the flag, green and white. And some schools also put on their own parades, including the Boys Brigade in Abuja. Millions of people take part in the Nigeria Independence Day celebrations and same-day Cyprus independence and China. Special homage and tribute is paid to the freedom fighters and other national leaders who fought for the independence of Nigeria from colonial rule. It is common knowledge among Africans that Nigerians will find any reason just to party. Although most corporate businesses and government departments are closed on Independence Day, restaurants, shops, and markets are open as normal, making the most of the celebrations and helping families to prepare big meals for the gatherings. Nigerians celebrate their Independence Day by decorating their homes, streets, and towns with the Nigerian flag. Nigeria, celebrating 61 years of existence as an independent nation, calls for a huge celebration. But a number of people are not feeling it, while others feel there is still hope. The past 61 years, especially in the last few months, has not been an easy one, as the country has to deal with the global pandemic called the coronavirus, issues of insecurity, economic recession, corruption, and other vices. Thus, Independence Day usually comes with a multiplicity of reactions from all Nigerians, both in the country and abroad, on the nation's progress. The event is celebrated by Nigerians of all cultures and religions, both at home and abroad. family gatherings and fireworks. For many Nigerians, the day is spent with family or visiting friends as there are no official firework displays. Most young people buy their fireworks from local vendors and light them themselves in celebration of the day. The day is also a rest day. For many others, the national holiday is simply seen as a day of rest and a time to wind down. They enjoy taking a break from the hustle and bustle of everyday life before it starts all over again the next morning. Then the celebrations outside Nigeria. Despite the challenges Nigerians in diaspora face due to the bad reputation that precedes the country, Nigeria, these citizens honor the day regardless. The biggest celebration of Nigerian independence outside of Nigeria is in New York, where every year the day is commemorated with a parade. Nigerians and her supporters in America travel from different states across the United States of America to the bustling city to celebrate the monumental event. The Independence Day Festival started in 1991 and has continued ever since. There is fun also at the beach. At the day in the beach is a show for those who love the outside and the seaside. Once again, the beach usually turns into a provisional outdoor club as huge speakers can be found on the tents, blasting resounding traditional tunes, which older generations are happy to call the better type of music. Family and friends head to the beach with picnics. However, different types of barbecued meats and fish can be bought from independent traders. Sometimes back, the festival was a 3-day celebration including a parade held from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The parade route starts at 2nd Avenue at E54th Street and ended at E44th Street. The organizing committee chairman, Mr. Yinka Dansalami, said the event attracts an average of 75,000 people annually. Meanwhile, in London, that usually takes place at their usual event space at Proud City in East London and usually with music and hosted by MC Dabs. The menu includes bottomless prosecco and an all-you-can-eat buffet of traditional Nigerian foods. Cyprus celebrates Independence Day on October 1st, just like Nigeria. They gained independence from the United Kingdom on August 16, 1960, but Cyprus Independence Day is commonly celebrated on October 1st. Nigerians living in Cyprus are also left behind in the celebration of independence. Prophecy Yamusa stated how independence is celebrated in Cyprus. Let's watch this.
Happy Independence Day, everyone. My name is Prophecy Yamusa and I'm a student of Near East University, Turkish Republic of North Cyprus. Well, how Nigerian Independence Day has been celebrated on the island of Northern Cyprus? We really don't have a traditional way of celebrating. We usually just let it to the leadership of Nigerian Student Association to come up with ways at which we celebrate. Sometimes they come up with stuff like a boat cruise, a more relaxed way of celebrating. We just come dressed in our attires, in our cultural attires, cook different meals, our cultural meals, and wave our flags and sing the national anthem and just have a great communion with one another as brothers and sisters. Or sometimes a more serious atmosphere is being organized, like a seminar where discussions like a better Nigeria and how to make Nigeria great again is being discussed. We share opinions, we share ways at which we think we can help, ways at which we can work towards that goal, even away from home. So that's basically what we do on Independence Day. Happy Independence Day once again.
Also, the People's Republic of China was founded on October 1st, 1949 with a ceremony at Tiananmen Square. The Central People's Government passed the resolution on the National Day of the People's Republic of China on December 2nd, 1949, and declared that October 1st is the National Day. Nigerians in China celebrate Independence Day as they remember their roots. Some Nigerians shared their thoughts about how the country can move forward. According to them, citizens must continue to hold their leaders accountable. They said we have to keep trying. We must learn and remain focused on patriotic, decent Nigerian where we are. We must never stop tasking our leaders to be responsible to us and fulfill the tenets of democracy. If we must excel, like Sena claims, we must defeat the defeatist mentality currently affecting us, he added. Morocco, who, like many Nigerians schooled abroad, revealed Nigerians in diaspora face a lot of challenges as Nigeria is seen as a corruption-ridden failed country. Speaking from a student perspective, and for all, Nigeria is perceived as a failed and ridiculed country. If it is possible for us all, we will change our national identity because it is always associated with corruption, failed leadership, nepotism, and all manner of unimaginable ills. They see us as a war-torn country where people are desperate to succeed beyond its shores due to the failed leadership structure in the country. It's just unthinkable, and it's very sad.
Hello, my name is Joseph Tobias, and I count it a great privilege to be coming to you today and for this privilege to speak and to share my own thoughts on the current situation of things in Nigeria. It continues to break my heart to see that things continue to be this way. It's been many years, and hope is waning away. And the idea that children and people are the future of tomorrow, the question is, do we even have a future? Even as I reflect and think of the current state of things in Nigeria, few things come to my mind. And the first thing I was thinking is there is just no society that can thrive and succeed when injustice continues to reign supreme and nothing seems to be done about it. For years we've been hearing that people are attacked and killed. Who is arrested? Who has been brought to the book? There is nobody. Politicians keep stealing and millions continue to be taken away. Who is really brought to the book? No one is brought to the book. Young girls and young children are being abused, but who is being brought to the book? Even those in the uniform are abusing those they ought to protect. Who is being brought to the book? There is no one. So injustice continues to reign supreme, and no one seems to actually be concerned about things being right and things being done right. And therefore, after many years, we now have the consequences right on the surface. We've been managing it, maybe, or we think we're managing it. But times have changed. Things have changed. And so long injustice is not brought to the book, so long justice is not the cry we cry daily and seek daily, and our leaders in authority are not, putting their foot on the ground and saying, we are going to be a nation of justice, unfortunately, things are just going to continue the way they are. Because thieves will continue to steal. Those that have been murdering and kidnapping will continue to do so because they are emboldened to continue in their ways, because no one is actually saying, whatever you do in dark, we're going to shine a spotlight on you and bring you to the books. So long we don't do that, things will continue the way they are. Secondly, even as I think of the situation in Nigeria, and we have tribalism has really eaten at the core of who we are. That's why I strongly believe for us as Christians, there's something on the inside that we ought to give to the world. I understand, mostly for those of us from the north, it's just been so many attacks, killings, losing of loved ones during crises, and all the things that have happened, that there's this mutual suspicion between Christians and Muslims. But even on a micro level, you also have the tribal divisions that we have, that there is no unity, that when we think of other people, we don't really think of them as as people dearly loved by God, but we see them as the other. Unless our theological understanding and our Christian perspective of loving our neighbor as we love ourselves is really at the core of how we live and see other people, I think, the way we treat people and the way we move as a nation will never lead us to the promised land, because there's just this suspicion of the other. And for us, I believe as Christians, we need to love regardless of where the person is coming from. Regardless of whether they are Christians or Muslims or Hindus or atheists, wherever they're coming from, first we should be known by our love for them. That we reach out to them, because the gospel becomes the gospel when the gospel reaches the person that is outside what we may think the realm of the gospel. So I really think that we need to love our neighbors deeply. That regardless of where they are coming from, we need to understand that there is no one outside the bounds of God's love.
Hi everyone. As one thinks about the state of things in the country, one has to reckon with the painful realities that we face. Painful realities of men and women and children on the street, in our churches, in our places of worship, in our villages. One has to look beyond just the wealthiest of the country. One has to look beyond the political powers that be of the country and face the realities of the poverty that people face, the realities of the agony, and of course, as we are all familiar with the insecurity of the country. It is our reality. It is that which we are confronted with, and we cannot pretend like it's not there. Our leaders cannot pretend like it's not there. And no matter how well we try to ignore it, is reality that we have to all face. So the state of things in the country leaves me in a place of despair, a place of what seemed to be hopelessness. For long now, we have heard over and over again the issue or the statement of things would be better. But as the years go by, it seems like things are not getting better. Things are becoming worse by the day. And so it leaves one with the question of how long? How long would this continue? How long are we going to continue like this as a nation? And so the state of things in the country is one that is painful, is one that is sad. With all the human resources that we have, with all the intelligence that we have, we still face these struggles all the time. And now the question is, what's the way forward? Is there hope in the midst of this pain? Is there hope for the mother that is crying, who has lost her child, who has lost hope in the nation? Indeed, there is hope. There's hope. I don't know when things will begin to take a turn to the right direction, but I cannot afford to remain in a state of hopelessness. There has to be some sense of hope in the future, some sense of hope in that child that still goes to school and gives his best in trying to learn. We believe that together we can create something that, by the grace of God, would be for the benefit of us all. Our voices need to be heard. We need to make our voices known. Because I believe that political leaders that do not live up to the expectation, they go to places of worship. We meet them at occasions, but nobody says anything because, everybody wants something, right? And so no one is saying anything. Like the popular novel by Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart. Gleaning from that, I would say things fall apart when the fathers are silent. Things fall apart when those who have the opportunity to say something say nothing. And so I encourage us to say something. I encourage us to make our voices known, not just for ourselves, but even for those who are voiceless. I'm hopeful that there will be a turnaround at some point, because every leadership comes and goes. There's going to be an end to this regime. There's going to be an end to the leadership right now. And there's going to be a turnaround. And we can only but hope and continue to trust in God. It takes a lot not to be hopeful, but it also takes a lot to be hopeful, considering the state of things in the country. But we can be hopeful and continue to pray and trust God for a better Nigeria. Happy Independence, everyone.
My name is INT'L. Happy Independence to all Nigerians, and also happy Independence to Equa Television. I appreciate the privilege you've given to me to share my thoughts concerning the happenings in Nigeria during this independence. We thank God for all the achievements we have in Nigeria in past years. And at this very trying moment where we have complex problems facing Nigeria, and the unrest is multifaceted in the country, but we still say happy independence, though there is nothing to be happy in this trying moment. But by faith, things will work out fine. So I encourage you to still put your hope and trust in the Lord. The effort of the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, is not yielding much positive results when you look at it only from one angle. Because of the constant killing, when there is no peace, development and everything is backward. And so we want to encourage all the president to rise up to his own responsibility. He is accountable to God and he is accountable to all Nigerians. You are not just to be at the presidency and just be keeping mute while things are going out. They are your people who are doing these things. They are spoiling your government, and history throughout the world will carry it that your own people are the one destroying your own, the legacy you intend to leave, and those you surround. Not only that, the law enforcement agents who are supposed to be peacemakers are now conniving. Some of them are conniving with the bandits, to be involved in all the killings that is going on in different parts of the country. Think of the North, Middle Belt, and the West. You found that they are there. You need to do something. And there is supposed to be a harsh law that's supposed to address this. But unfortunately, people are going scot-free. Mr. President, we Nigerians in the diaspora are not happy with what is happening. And because of what is happening back home in Nigeria, is affecting most Nigerians in the United States with the way